Hey everybody, welcome to my review for Bad Beets the Game. Now Bad Beets of the Game is another one of the games in the bluffing micro game category of games, and it's kind of getting to be a full category, so it seems like games nowadays need to be doing something a little bit different to either change it up or do something different so we're not seeing the 15th version of games such as Love Letter, which is what some of us may be feeling like is going on, especially with this very all of a sudden crowded genre of the bluffing micro game category. Now what Bad Beets the Game has done is it has managed to change things up just a little bit, and unless you play the game you wouldn't think it makes that big of a difference, but the one thing that this game does differently that makes it feel different from other of these bluffing micro games is the fact that it has the mechanics where at the start of the game you're going to be picking a card and that's going to be passing back and forth among the players. And again, you wouldn't think that this makes a big difference in the game, but it actually does because it adds an extra level of subtlety to the game, because when the game is played, when I'm looking at my two cards at the start of the game or the start of my round, I'm figuring out exactly which card I want to pass on based on the cards I have in my hand. For example, if I happen to have a Tattletale card in my hand, I probably want to keep that Tattletale card and pass on my Share card, which is my other card, to the other player, and now I have a possible idea of what the other player has in their hand, except for the fact that they're going to pick up their two cards and they're going to look at both their cards and they're going to pick one of these cards to pass along. Now my question I need to ask myself is, as I'm watching this happening, is did they pass on the card that I gave them, or do they keep the card that I gave them, meaning cards like Tattletale become much more powerful, which is a much more subtler layer to the game. And again, it doesn't seem like it makes a big difference until you actually play the game and see that it does make an ever so slight difference to the basic gameplay, especially when compared to games such as Coup and games such as Love Letter. So that's one really cool thing they add to the game. They also add the fact that there is no player elimination. And now I'm really surprised about this. I never sat down and really thought about it, but there aren't any games in the bluffing category that don't offer player elimination, at least none that I can think of. Love Letter, player elimination. Coup, player elimination. It's the only game in the micro category, and again, I'm not talking about those team-based games like One Night Werewolf, The Resistance, or games such along those lines where you're actually team-based. I'm talking about a pure micro bluffing game. None of them have gotten rid of the player elimination mechanic, and this is the first game to do it. And I never thought it made a difference, especially when you sit back and go, well, it's a 10-minute game. Who cares if somebody gets eliminated? Well, somebody does care, because they made a game that got rid of player elimination, and they made it in a family-friendly game. Bad Beets is a very family-friendly game, and that's one of the really cool things about Bad Beets the Game. Now in just a few moments you're going to hear some opinions from my sons about what they think about this much more family-friendly game, and you're going to hear them say that they also thought this game was much more family-friendly, and they actually enjoyed this game quite a bit. Now, I want to make sure you understand something about both my boys. My oldest son does not like bluffing games at all, and I mean period. He does not like bluffing games at all. Matter of fact, when I first got this game, and this was a game sent to me by Stoneblade Entertainment as a review copy, so thank you very much, Stoneblade Entertainment. But when I first got this game, I sat down with both my boys. My youngest son, who loves bluffing games, he loves Coup, he's played it many times, he enjoys it a heck of a lot. He was very excited to play this game, but my oldest son was very hesitant and not very much a happy camper when I said, hey, let's just sit down and play the game and you tell me exactly what you think. And he was very quick to remind me of how much he really disliked bluffing games. And one of the best things I can say here is that he actually sat down, he actually played Bad Beets, and he's actually played it more than one time. And that's something that's really cool. And that shows you just how much more a family theme can make a difference, especially when you get rid of that one little thing I was just talking to you a minute ago, player elimination. See, that's something that kids don't like in a game. No kid wants to be told that, guess what, your card's done, nope, you're out, you still have your thing. You're removed from the game, games such as Love Letter, which has the player elimination, games such as Coup, which has the player elimination. In a kid's mind, a second is an eternity, 10 seconds is 10 eternities, even if it's just for a couple of seconds when they're cut out of the game. So that's why taking this game and adding in these beats and getting rid of the player elimination is absolutely fantastic. I can't emphasize that enough, that getting rid of player elimination in a family game is probably the coolest thing I can say here, is that they took out the player elimination and made it a much more family game. You can also look at the fact that all the artwork of the game is very family friendly. These cards right here for all the players make the game much more simpler for younger kids to get into the mechanics of the bluffing game, because it's done in a very cartoony, very family-friendly manner with lots of player reminders. And again, cartoons are something that sticks for kids, so this is something that helps them learn how to play the game and learn to play the game better and have a heck of a lot of fun. So we have a whole bunch of positives going for the family friendliness in the game. We have the We have the family friendliness of the theme. We have the family friendliness of the player cards right here. We have the family friendliness of all the artwork. All the powers of all the cards are on there in a very fun, frivolous kind of manner for the kids. I mean, look at the card that says nuh-uh. It's a denial card. They could have easily made this card look anything different from this, but we see nuh-uh, which to kids is total denial. That's what I'm saying. Nuh-uh, you're not doing it. So it's very family friendly, very cool. Thoughts like feed the dog and stuff like that, they're all things that blend in to make this game even more family friendly. Now, before you get a chance to hear some opinions from the younger ones, I want to give you a couple final things that I want to add into the game that you could almost consider negatives. I don't really want to consider them negatives because they are things that should be pretty obvious when you play this game. First of all, the game, I mentioned this in my tutorial video, but one of the advanced rules tells you that for the game, when anybody uses the very basic action of eat a beet, that the advanced rules say that you pick another player, even including yourself, and they're forced to take whatever card they have, and they have to discard that card and they have to replace that card immediately. Now, I suggested this in a tutorial video, and I'm going to say this right here in my final review of the game. This is one of those rules I'm going to say is mandatory that you add to the game, because it's very, very easy if you don't include it on the rules. It's very easy for players, especially in a lower player count game, to get a whole bunch of players get stuck in the same mindset where you're going to see the same card getting passed around back and forth between all the players. Literally, it'd be the exact same card passing back and forth between all the players because they really don't want to get rid of the card they have, because they want to get the chance to use that card, or the simple fact that they just aren't thinking clearly. So I think that's one advanced rule that shouldn't be an advanced rule. It should be a mandatory rule. I say you play the game every time you throw that advanced rule in the game, no matter what. Trust me on this one. You can play without it if you want, but I say throw that advanced rule in every single time you play the game. And the other thing I want to mention, and this is going to go for more of an adult theme. Now remember, this is a family-friendly theme, but I would have loved to see this game get a much more adult theme thrown in it. Heck, we've seen 15 different versions of Love Letter now. Why can't we see another version of Bad Beets? After I played this game a couple times with my kids, don't get me wrong, I had tons of fun with this game, and I'm not saying that they should have thrown this theme to the wind and fed it to the wolves or anything like that. If I've seen 15 different versions of Love Letter, I can ask for my second version of Bad Beets. Now, what I would really love to see Bad Beets do is get another theme, perhaps maybe as a bomb squad coming in, where the players need to get rid of 8 wires to stop the bomb from blowing up, and the first person to get rid of all 8 of those bombs is going to be the winner of the game. Or maybe see it redone in even a space theme, where the players are engineering crews on a starship that's been crippled and you're stuck in a solar system that's about to go to supernova. The first person to get all 8 sections of their ship fixed is going to be the first person to fly their ship out of that galaxy before it goes supernova, blowing everything up. I'm sorry, the first person to fly out of that solar system is going to be the ones who's going to survive. Now again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the theme at all, but I can safely say, in my humble opinion, that if we saw a retheming of this game with one of those really cool themes, this would probably end up being the game of Gen Con 2016. Well, that's enough from me about Bad Beets. It's time to sit back and listen to some opinions from the target crowd for this game. My 2 sons who sat down and played Bad Beets with me. Let's start hearing their opinions of the game. Ryan, you're not a big fan of bluffing games at all. Matter of fact, you don't like bluffing games, period. What do you think about Bad Beets?
It's like Coup, except it's not like high-tech science. Like, it's basically a kid version of Coup.
That's probably the best way I could ever hear this game described. That's an awesome job. And now I know you don't like bluffing games. Does this game change your opinion about bluffing games? Do you like bluffing games now that you've played this game?
A little.
A little bit. So you think now that you play this game, you may like bluffing games a little bit more?
Yeah, like this much.
Well, you know what?
This much.
That's pretty darn awesome to hear that somebody who doesn't like bluffing games at all of a sudden likes bluffing games after playing one that's a little more family friendly. Now, Tyler, you are the family coup master who seems to have mastered the awesome skill of bluffing. What do you think about Bad Beets, the bluffing game?
Awesome!
I don't think they heard that. Was that an awesome or was that an awesome?
It's awesome!
Really? So what do you think that you like so much about this game?
Because it's about lying.
Not lying. It's about bluffing. We don't lie. We bluff.
It says on the card, don't forget you can always lie.
Shh.
Really?
Don't correct Daddy with realities here. We're calling this a bluffing game because we don't lie. But Tyler, you love Coup. You have a lot of fun with Coup. Why do you like this game better or worse than Coup?
Why do I like it best? Because it's a kid version.
That's awesome because it's a kid version. So if you had a choice between playing Coup or Bad Beets, which game would you pick?
Bad Beets.
Why would you pick Bad Beets over Coup?
Because it's basically a kid version. I like it. And the cards always say, don't forget you can always lie.
Can I show the card? Can I go show the card in front of the screen?
Don't forget you can always lie.
You know what?
Read it.
You're right. It does say.
It says it.
Says it
On
right
the
there.
blue
You
cards.
can always lie. Okay. So Ryan, do you have anything else you want to say about Bad Beets the game? Anything you want to say or anything you want to show that you really liked about the game?
Okay, I got one thing. If you can't see the cards right now, I can put this card close up.
Go for it. Put it right here in the center.
I get
Put it right here in the center. You don't need to do that, son. Just lay it right down right here where my hands are. Just lay it flat. There you go. What do you want to say?
I think this game is a bit cooler than Coop and Coop.
He meant coup. He meant coup. We knew what he meant.
Yeah, and Coup is like Bad Beets except an older version.
You mean like an older person's version?
Older person's version.
Okay.
Because in Coup there's like assassins and stuff.
Right. And corporate espionage?
Yeah.
Okay. But you like this theme a lot better then, right?
Yeah.
How do you like the fact that this game has these cards that you can bluff about, but it also has these cards that give you reactions that you can do to react to other players' actions? Do you like these better than what Coup has? Where you have these cards that you say, oh, you did this? Well, I'm going to do this. What do you think about those kind of mechanics?
I like that kind of mechanic because if someone says, this is not true, there's no such thing as a I'm getting rid of 100 beats card because there's not even that much. There's only 50 beats in total.
I think you're right. I think there's only 50 beats. You're right.
Yeah.
So-
50! So pretend we have a I'm getting rid of 100 beats card.
Uh-huh.
And like, I'm getting rid of 100 beats. Mwahaha. And then someone could be like, oh, yeah, I got a card that'll stop it. And then they show it.
And you
Then
like
it's
that.
all over.
You like that, how you ruin other people's plans. Tyler, what last thing do you want to say about Bad Beets the game?
It's fun. Hey.
You know what? That's pretty darn awesome. Anyways, that's Bad Beets by Stoneblade Entertainment. Hope you enjoyed this video.
Ian.
Can you set that down for 1 second, Sunshine? If you have any comments or questions about this game or any of my video reviews, make sure you leave the comments down in the YouTube comments below. If you have any comments or questions, you can also email me at offtheshelfboardgamereviews. That's otsbgr@gmail.com. As always, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the video with the extra character added in. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Make sure you check out Coup if you're not a kid.
Do you think an adult would like this game, though?
Yeah, an adult would like this game if he had kids, because kids would make it a lot more funner.
Good answer.
Bye. Blow it up.
Whee!